Hey everyone, I hope you're well and welcome back to the next episode in the Fiver Friday series. If you're enjoying these videos so far, then please be sure to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell so that you can be notified every time I upload. In the meantime, Andy, I have a performance of pin to share with you, which is why, delicately resting on top of the pack, I have a pin. Yep. I'd like to carefully pick up the pin, place it in front of you, and the pin is for you. The cards are for me. You can see that they're all different. You can verify this for everyone watching.
Yes.
And before we get into this, I'm just going to shuffle up the cards so that, of course, the order of them changes. And now I'd like you to pick up your pin. And what I'd like you to do is actually to insert it into the pack. Okay, you're going to pin a location. So you're going to take it, just target the middle, just place it somewhere inside the deck. And when you've done that, just show it to the camera, make sure they can all see. And so you've pinned a location, and it's now my job to try and divine the card at that location, right? Remember, the cards have been shuffled. You could have placed it anywhere, right? It should be impossible, but here's what we'll try. I'll just slide the pin around this corner, and in doing so, I can sense, I believe it's a red card, all right? Much like your hoodie with my logo on it. Thank you. So I believe it's a red card. If we just slide it round the next corner, I can sense that it's a heart. I believe it's a heart. If we now just go around the next corner, I believe, I'm feeling it's a picture card. It's not a number, it's a picture card. If we just return it straight back to the start, I can feel that it's a king. All right. If I've correctly divined all this, I believe it's the King of Hearts. All right. So I'm just going to place the pack down here. Now keep me fair. I'm just going to cut all the cards above the pin. Ooh, right there, you can see it's still resting on top. And you can see these are all the cards where you could have placed that pin. Again, I reiterate, the cards were shuffled. You could have placed it anywhere. If I've correctly divined this, the card exactly next to where you positioned that pin should be, if I felt this correctly, the King of Hearts. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be pin credible, Andy? Let's have a look. Did we get it? We did! The King of Hearts, Andy! Thank you so very much. Thank you. What? And that's pin.
How have you done that then?
How? Well, I've actually secretly got a little hidden camera on the tip of the pin. No, I don't. There's no peeking involved in this effect, or marked cards. Regular pin, regular cards. And in fact, the secret to this effect, you can access this Friday. It will be available for only 24 hours via my website. You know the drill. Just simply click on the link in the description. That will take you through to my website where you can purchase the tutorial to this as an instant download. What are you doing, Andy?
Look at any crimps or
Please
anything.
stop.
There's nothing.
Right? Meddling. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So welcome now to the explanation of pin. A quick overview of the method is as follows. I essentially have two pins. One which the audience take, and one which I secretly pre-position next to a force card. Then, during the performance, I will secretly switch for the audience's pin to my pin next to a force card, so that once we cut to that position, it will of course reveal the card that I have ostensibly been able to divine, when in fact it's just a force card because we're switching the pin to that position. So the setup for this effect is as follows. The force card will be the third card down from a face down deck. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, we have the 2 of spades. That's going to be our force card. And so what we do is we turn the pack face up, we riffle off 2 cards, we keep a break, and we take one of our pins and we just place it in between that gap. Okay, so it's now held between the cards. And you'll notice I've actually placed it towards the left side of the deck. This is important. The pack is then placed down, and that completes your setup. So this is a fairly easy situation to arrive at on the fly. I'll just make use of an offbeat. I might turn away or go under the table, or even just approach the group or the table with this situation already together, and then I'm just good to go. So either way, I'll leave it in your hands how you prepare for this effect, but that completes the setup. You place the pack down with a pin secretly next to your force card, obviously obscured because from the front of the pack you cannot see that, as well as a pin that they can see. So this is your opening setup, and to walk through the performance now, you say in this effect we'll be using a pin, and I should just say these are drawing pins, right? Just very easy, cheap to come by pins that you can can get from any stationery stores, just a little drawing pin. The pin goes down, we'll come back to that in a moment, and also we'll be using a pack of cards. So now I pick up the pack and I'm going to be handling it very kind of openly and liberally because of course throughout this I want it to appear as in any effect as a normal pack of cards, right? I don't want to allude to any idea that there's anything funny about this pack of cards, namely the fact that there's an extra pin stuck in it. So I have created a kind of choreography, a handling sequence that allows me to openly handle the cards whilst secretly keeping the pin intact. And the way that's achieved is essentially through just keeping either your thumb or your fingers in contact with the pin so that it remains connected to the pack at all times. If you aren't in contact with it, there is a, albeit minor risk, but risk nonetheless, of it falling out. So to prevent that, I keep one of my fingers in contact with the pin, and I'll also try and keep the pack kind of firmly squared, holding it a little bit tighter than normal. Again, that just squeezes the cards, sandwiching the pin to stop it from falling out. So that's just something you want to be mindful of whenever you're handling the pack. To begin with, I do a one-handed fan. So I pick up the pack using my thumb, pressing against the pin like so. That just stops it falling out. You can quite safely pick it up like this, but just as an extra safety measure, I pick it up like so. I then bring it into my hand, and I'm now going to execute a thumb fan to demonstrate that all the cards are different. And of course, because of the position of the pin, because we place it next to that left hand's edge, it's not going to get essentially pushed out of the pack. It just remains in this little corner down here. Hopefully you can see that. So now I just carefully close the fan, I square everything up, so I've still got it in this position here. And now using my thumb, I'm going to slide it to the right hand edge, right? Just around about there. And that's because I'm now going to do an overhand shuffle. So I keep my thumb on the pin, I then just pivot the pack ready for an overhand shuffle. And you can see the pin is just there, and I now just overhand shuffle the cards. Once I get to a little block here, I place that back down. I might just square up to make sure it's in position. Let me just quickly reset that. So far we've picked up the pack, we've done a fan, we've closed it up, we've slid it to the other side, we've now done a shuffle. Normally I wouldn't be letting go, I'm just trying to do this for explanation purposes to show you the position. And I'll just keep shuffling a few times, and then at some point I want to position the pin into the middle. So I'm going to just shuffle half the cards. Once I've got half, I'll then just place this block on top, and so now when I square up, we've secretly positioned our pin and the force card into the centre. And of course from the front, that looks like this. So now I'll just roll over the pack. As I say, I'm keeping everything held quite firmly to stop it from falling out. And then I'm going to transfer the pack to this grip as if I was going to do a Hindu shuffle. And so as we know, the pin is secretly there. So all we've done is fanned the cards, given them a shuffle, and in doing so we've kept the pin hidden from sight, but we've also positioned the pin and in turn the force card into the centre. So now what we're going to do is say you're going to take the pin and you're going to place it somewhere inside the middle. I want you to kind of target the middle of the pack. And so they take it, and I sometimes say that line, you'll target the middle of the pack, because I don't want to place it too near the bottom or near the top. Ideally, the optimum position so that it becomes kind of copacetic with the force pin is somewhere inside the middle of the pack, okay? So I'll just say, just go, target the middle of the pack, place it inside there. And what was I going to say to that? Yes, so once I've placed it in, I then say what you've done is to pin a location. So you've pinned a location, and it'll be now my job to try and divine what card is at that position. Okay, so to do this, all I'm going to do is slide the pin around the pack and try and gain a sense of what it is. Here we go. So I now place my finger onto the pin, I slide it around this first corner, and obviously it's a force card, I've memorised it to a spades, and I'll just gradually just kind of drip reveal the identity of this card. So I'll say, I believe in doing so, and I just rub my fingers together, a little bit of kind of faux cess. I just like that little touch, as if I'm really kind of, extrapolating something from the feeling of the pin, or I don't know, right? It's just an interesting kind of touch. So I push it around, I say this is, I believe this is a black card. Now what I'm going to do is move it around the next corner, but before I do so, I'm going to re-grip the pack, and in such a way that my middle finger covers that pin. Okay, so I'm going from here to here, and that allows me to cleanly show this edge without revealing the pin. We're keeping the force pin hidden from view. So far, I've just pushed it around there. I'm sensing, oh, it's a black card, it's a black card. Let's go around the next edge. So I now re-grip, placing my middle finger over that pin, and I slide it round. I do the same thing, it's a spade. Yeah, it's a spade. And now I turn the pack around. My thumb is going to go over the original pin, now exposing the force pin as that gets pushed around, thus completing the switch of the pins. We've gone from the audience insertion placement to the force position placement. So we've switched the pins. I'll just go through that one more time. So I would have moved this one, saying I think it's a spade, and let me just go around this corner. I think it's a number card. I believe it's a number card. So that completes the switch, and then we return back to the start, and I then grip the pack like so. And as I'm saying, I think that's taught me. I think it's a 2. Now, as I'm taking that beat to do that, and I'm kind of looking up and I'm contemplating what it is, figuring out that feeling, my pinky, because of because of where we left this pin, it's in close proximity to my pinky. That allows me to nudge it out, so it now falls into my palm, and my pinky can kind of just wrap around, just hug it slightly, keep it in place to stop it from falling. As I'm saying, this is the 2 of spades, the 2 of spades. So let's place the pack down. Again, I keep everything nice and kind of tight, stop it falling out. Place it down. At this moment, if I'm at a table, I might just relax my hands and allow this pin to kind of just fall into my lap. Otherwise, it's easy to just keep it hidden there. And now we're going to cut to the position of the pin. So I use my index finger to just rest on the pin. If you just lightly cut the pack, you'll naturally cut all the cards above the pin. These can go down, either face down or face up. You say these are all the cards you could have placed the pin next to, but this is where you did. And I felt it was the 2 of spades. Did we get it? Amazing, the 2 of spades. Thank you very much. And then on that relaxation, I'll then use that as an opportunity to get rid of the pin if I haven't already done so. So that essentially covers the explanation to pin. I'm just going to walk through this one more time for you. So we'll change the force card. Let's go for the ace of diamonds this time. That's the 3rd card down from the top. So I riffle off 2, I keep a break, I place a pin towards the left side of that pack. Down it goes, next to the pin, that's my setup. In this effect, I'm going to show you an effect that involves a pin and, of course, a deck of cards. You can see these are all different, right? So what I'm going to do is to start off by shuffling the cards. Just give them a nice big mix, all right? So obviously the position of each card changes here. And, whoops, I fumbled that a little bit. Let's just go into the middle now. And what I'm going to get you to do is to insert a pin into the pack. You're going to pin a location. So let me just turn these over and go ahead, just take your pin, place it anywhere inside the pack, right there. Okay, so you've pinned a location, and I'll try and now divine the card at that location. So to do this, I'm just going to slide the pin around the pack, and what was the card? Oh, it is Ace of Diamonds, isn't it? In doing so, I believe this is a red card. This is a red card. Let's go around the next corner. It's a diamond. I believe it's a diamond. Let's go around the next corner. It's a number card. It's very low, or it could be high if you were playing a poker game. Let me go around back to the start. I believe in doing so, it's an ace. I believe it's an ace. So we place these down, let's just cut there. Obviously these are all the cards you could have placed it next to. Have a look, did we get it? Ace of diamonds, thank you very much. And that is pin. So there we go, that is the explanation to pin. I hope that was clear enough for you. If you need any further clarity, feel free to reach out to me over email. You can do so via my website. And until next time, thank you once again for supporting me with my Fiver Friday project. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, and I hope to see you return for the next one. Take care.